Hello, long time no voiceover. We're here today to reorganize these bookshelves and to chat a little bit because I feel like chatting to you all. I have a lot of things on my mind, a lot of thoughts to share. So let me first just preface this with a bit of background to what's going on. So basically, I discovered that I could fit more shelves. I could fit more shelves on my bookshelf. So that's what I went and did. I went to IKEA and I got the extra shelves that you can get for your Billy bookcases, which means that I have now, I think, pretty much maximized the amount of shelves that I can have on all four of my Billy bookcases. I've been like slowly accumulating extra shelves over time, and I think these were the last two that I was going to get. But fun fact, so um, IKEA updates their products when they should not. My personal opinion. So I, as you all saw, bought these bookcases, like the whole cases themselves, the original ones, in 2023. I got the first two in the summertime, and then the last two for my birthday in December. And then I told myself, okay, over time I'll just, as obviously as my shelves fill up more and the need comes, I will buy more of those extra shelves and create more space because I discovered that you can get those extra shelves. We've been over this already. So context is set, right? We have shelves from 2023 now, and I think we're about to discover this. Um, oh no, this is the first discovery of the tall paperbacks didn't, or the tall hardbacks, sorry, didn't fit in that shelf, even though I had originally planned that. Anyway, going back to what I was talking about. So during this video, shortly, I make the discovery that there is a new veneer on Billy bookshelves as of recently. Sometime between the last time that I bought Billy bookshelves in 2024, and then I got four more over the course of 2025 thus far. Sometime between then, um, they updated the veneer for this dark bookcase, and it does not match. It is not a perfect one-to-one match for the old veneer. Okay, here it is. You'll see me looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. Wait a minute. Huh, that shelf looks different from the rest of the bookshelves because that's a different veneer. That's an entirely different veneer. So I have to find the two extra bookcases or the bookshelves that I put in recently in January, I think. And I'm going to put them on the bottom so that you can't tell that they're different. Like, you're not looking at them enough to be able to tell that they're different. Like, even in the video, you can kind of tell which ones they are. I don't know. I can tell which ones they are in retrospect. Um, so there's a lot of reorganizing of like the studs and stuff that I should not have done. But it was all in the name of putting the new veneer shelves at the bottom and then putting all of the old veneer shelves in eyesight. Um, I'm sorry that it took 4 minutes to explain that, but here we are. Another thing that I wanted to do so that I don't spend most of this video talking about non-bookish stuff is I wanted to condense all of my fantasy reads onto one bookshelf. I attempted to, I didn't really quite get there, but just basically having them all on that leftmost shelf because my reading changes are whoa, I said that wrong. My reading tastes are changing. There we go. My changes are not tasting. Ew, that sounds gross. My reading tastes are changing, and I have been reading a lot more contemporary fiction, a lot more horror, a lot more classics recently. If you've been watching for a little bit, like, and you've watched any of my wrap ups, then you know that that's the case. um, and you can see even in the sections right now, like those shelves are bursting. There's no room for recent reads to be added onto those shelves, whereas like the fantasy shelves were never ever getting touched. Um, not never ever being touched. I mean, I've read some fantasy recently, but it's not at the same rate as my other reads. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So the idea was that like I wanted the shelves to be a lot more representative of my current reading journey, so that all of my more more favorite, I don't know how to say this, like the books, the genres that I've been gravitating towards, those are going to be the ones that are in the middle two shelves, I would say, ish. And the contemporary shelf. I made more room for the contemporary shelf because I like I looked at my TBR and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need a lot more space for these books. So that's what I will do eventually. But um, yeah, so that's what I was doing in this first part here is I was condensing all of my fantasy reads, YA and adult fantasy. I don't have very many middle grade. All of my middle grade fits onto one shelf. So that goes below later on, but all of my adult and YA fantasy will go on that leftmost shelf, except for I think one shelf at the top of anyway, this is all semantics. Um Life updates. How have things been? Okay, so it's been a time. If you're in the US, it's been a terrible time. I work in education, so you can imagine that it's been a terrible time. um, and it just feels like every single day, Yakety Sax is playing from the White House, you know? And if you don't know what Yakety Sax is, I encourage you to pause this video right now and go look up Yakety Sax because you will understand exactly what I mean once you discover Yakety Sax. Um, yeah, so that has been terrible. It has taken quite the toll on my mental health. I have been reading 20 plus books a month because of it. Social life, exercise, just general, like keeping up with my health. I don't know her. I only know reading. um, so that's a fun thing that's been happening. But I've been trying to do what I can recently to like take care of myself, take charge over my life again because it kind of felt for a while there like my life was completely out of my control, which I mean to a degree it kind of is. Um, but I digress. Um, I also ended my relationship about a month ago now. So single again, but I'm feeling really good about it. Like I'm really happy to be single, single again. Um, and I've just been spending my free time recuperating from work because I still have work. It's just stressful and might not have work for very long. But anyway, while I have work, I need to recuperate afterwards. And then on the weekends, I've been really spending a lot of time with myself and enjoying my own company, which has been absolutely lovely. I have like 10 more journals than I did at the beginning of the year, and I need to do like a Techokaigi. Those are the videos that bring in views to my channel anyway. I need to, but filming them is a pain. I don't like filming Techokaigis. Anyway, um, this is all to say life is good, or as good as it can be, given the climate of everything. I've been going a lot to secondhand shops. My latest resolution, I don't do New Year's resolutions. I just decide out of the blue that I'm going to change something about my life and then I do it. Um, with no, apropos of no time special changes or whatever. Okay. It's been a while since I've done a voiceover, can you tell? Um, I've been telling myself that like if I'm going to make purchases that are for me, like for my consumption, it's only going to be secondhand. I'm not buying anything new. So whether that's clothes or books or CDs, DVDs, and I'll talk about that more in a second. All of that is coming from secondhand uh, shops or online platforms. Because, um, yeah, first of all, save money. Saving money is always good. Um, and also just thinking about my consumerism. I don't think I can beat it out of me quite yet. I think I still need to buy myself a little treat every now and then, but I feel like it softens the blow if it's secondhand, if that makes any sense. If I am sounding just as sanctimonious as ever, um, I'm sorry. This is what I am telling myself to get through the days, okay? So give me a little bit of grace here. The world is on fire. Um, so I'm doing what I can. Um, one fun thing though, one fun thing that I have decided to do on top of only buying things secondhand is I have canceled all of my streaming services. And you're thinking to yourself, what? Yes. I don't have a Netflix subscription, no Amazon, no Apple Music, nothing. I am kind of off the grid, which has not changed anything at all, really. I mean, obviously, like, I don't have access to those platforms anymore, but like I'm reading so much, so I don't really watch very many things. And if I do watch things, well, I have a bunch of DVDs. And I guess I'll sidebar here and say that I got a DVD player this year, finally. Um, Originally, so I could watch Titans, because I'm a fan of that show, unfortunately. So I could watch Titans without having to get that HBO Max subscription because that one's also wicked expensive. Um, yeah, I got tired of all of these streaming services and how things are exclusive to one or the other, and I just I just cracked. I crashed out per se, and I said I don't want the media that I consume on the very little free time that I have uh, to be limited by or inhibited by. Did I say that right? Inhibited, inhibit. Anyway, I don't want it to be limited by people like Jeff Bezos. Taking back that power and only buying media, physical media like DVDs, secondhand. So I got a DVD player. I live near a book off here in San Diego, so I stop by there often to see what they have. And yeah, I've just been enjoying. If I am gonna use my TV for something, it's either I'm playing Switch games or there's a DVD playing. There's no streaming services. She's not doing any streaming here. She does not stream anymore, which is wild to say. I think as a society, yeah, twirling my mustache with that, as a society, we've normalized streaming subscriptions, which is fine, and that's how it's built right now. No one really owns anything, they just rent out the ability to enjoy media. Um, but I'm pushing back. I want to own things. I don't want to wake up and suddenly everything I quote unquote own digitally, all of my music, all of my TV shows, all my movies, to just go away. Because someone else said so. I think this is also brought on by the fact that I think people discovered that if you buy a book on Kindle, you don't technically own it. Like, or it, just downloading a book to your Kindle does not mean you own that book. It just means you've downloaded a copy of it to your Kindle, which means you have to go through this like whole backwards process of actually downloading the book to own the book. But even then, it's in the proprietary Kindle format, I think. I don't know. There was this whole panic about like, oh, make sure you download your Kindle books, like actually own the physical the digital copies of the books because Amazon can take them away at any minute. And I was like, "Oh my god. That's awful." That's so you're paying money. You're paying money for books that you are basically renting out, which is like a really expensive library service. um and I know, of course, like obviously all libraries are not built equal. Not everyone has a library accessible to them. So it's not, I'm not saying that libraries are the answer, but it's just like, it just feels ridiculous to me, in my opinion, that so many of these streaming services, so many of these digital platforms are just like expensive ass libraries where you don't ever actually own anything. um, and maybe also that's a very American view, you know, to own things. It's, I mean, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it is like, get off my land kind of thing. Get hands off my book collection. I don't know, that might be a stretch, but um, this is all to say I'm purely a physical media girly now. I mean, I also, speaking of disconnecting, like, I I lost my marbles, crashed out, and I got an MP3 player. It's like a off-brand Chinese MP3 player with a shitty UI. It's not, I don't really recommend it. If unless you're like me and you can just like throw all of your music on shuffle. But I got an MP3 player. Um, because again, like no Apple Music, no Spotify. How am I gonna listen to music? MP3 player. Is that not insane? But yeah, I'm I'm reverting back. It's the 2000s again. We have single use devices. We have physical media collections, no streaming, just what you got at home. Um and I've really been enjoying it. I don't know if I've said that yet. Perhaps it sounds a bit cynical, but I have really, really been enjoying disconnecting. Um, I spend like less than half an hour a day on my phone. um, yeah, I honestly am thinking of getting like a stupid phone, like a not smartphone, like a flip phone, because I don't need it anymore. Um, I mean, I still like going on Instagram, but I don't feel the need to. And it's been so nice to disconnect. It's been so nice. I have no idea how this turned into an anti digital platforms kind of thing. And I'm sorry if you can hear my neighbors yelling. Live in an apartment complex. I can do nothing about it. And I'm also sorry that I haven't been talking about what's been going on at all in this video. But it's just me reorganizing my bookshelves. I kind of explained it at the beginning, right? Yeah, we're coming up on a time. Got about a minute left. Thank you for tuning in. If you didn't mute me, you listened to me ramble for 20 minutes straight. I love you. Come be my friend. I need friends. I need to make friends. That's my next thing is I need to go out there and make friends because I it cannot be holed in my apartment all the time, reading books, watching DVDs, listening to my MP3 player. um yeah, I hope you like my new shelves. I've posted pictures on Instagram if you're a picture person. Socials are down below as always. And that's it. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a good rest of your day, good rest of your week. See you next time. Bye.